Hey, why are you guys wearing paper crowns on your head?
It's paper?
You may also be asking yourself,
Mine's pure silver.
why is Blaine a liar and didn't shave his head when we hit 50,000 subs?
Not the bet.
He did that.
Not to bet.
You may also be asking yourself,
quit making bets.
where did you guys get this fire Bobby Boucher jersey from? Straight out of the Bourbon Bowl with the patch right here. 50th anniversary of the Bourbon Bowl, 1943 to 1998. Well, the answer is we just had our 1-year anniversary, and we're super duper excited about it. We want to thank all you guys out there. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, The Daily Wire, everything. And we do want to remind you guys, without you, there is no us. We appreciate you guys for making it a great year. I want to thank Reed, my animals, as well, for allowing me to do this, and you guys for allowing me to do this job. We get to talk about sports every single day, and they pay us money to do it. I still can't believe it.
It's incredible.
Yep.
It's incredible.
You got anything you want to add?
I think Blaine's hair just grew back.
It may have. We actually do Crain hair. Our hair grows super fast. Like, you give me 3 weeks, I'll look like Cousin It from the Addams Family. Like, that's no cap.
Look, if we had hit 50K before the year ended, I'd just shave my head.
Well, like, here's
but we didn't.
But here's
year.
the question. You said
The year.
in a year. It's a year anniversary.
No, I didn't. I
today.
said when the year ended.
I don't know. We'll have to
Yeah.
look
Pretty
back.
ambiguous, Blaine.
I mean,
Look, I would have done it. We'd have done it. Look,
that's like when a politician's like, wait, I didn't say I couldn't cancel the debt. I said I don't know if I could cancel the debt. Those are two totally different things. But look, it's your life, man. I just
It was a good look, though.
It's a good look, though. We saw it
not.
yesterday in the
Bald
picture.
head.
it's not a good
No,
look.
it's a really good look.
It's not
for
a good
you,
look.
not for me.
The amount of people who said it was a good look is upsetting and worrisome for me, to be honest. I had multiple people like text me, like, hey, man, it was a mixed bag.
Why?
Which I was
Now you know
surprised
it's
at.
safe. You're in a safe space
no.
if you were to have to go bald.
No, that's okay. That's fine.
Is there a better place to go bald than the trust tree?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I mean, you talk.
As long as the
look,
trust tree doesn't go bald, we'll be okay.
Look, the trust tree never goes bald. It's like the werewood tree or whatever in Game of Thrones. Like, that's where it all started. But I will say this. You did look like John Travolta from
Won that poll
Paris from Love.
in your face, John.
The one where with Rose.
For you.
In your face, yeah.
That's the call we've been waiting on.
Yeah.
Bro, that's the funniest scene in any action movie.
Look like a poor man's Andrew Tate.
We've talked about this all the
I
time.
look like.
I hadn't seen that.
Because you be going.
The Falcons become a possible landing spot for Lamar Jackson after cutting Marcus Mariota. Washington Redskins owner Dan Snyder finds himself in more trouble, shocker there. And former Tennessee assistant football coaches receive show cause penalties. I'm Jake Crain. It's Wednesday. We're halfway there, baby. And welcome to Crain & Company. The internet has been set ablaze with rumors of where Lamar Jackson might end up if Baltimore loses their minds and decides not to pay up. Now, we've heard Carolina and maybe now Atlanta, since Marcus Mariota was just released after he basically quit on the team after he got benched. But I can't help but wonder, what in the hell are the Ravens doing? Now, typically, Baltimore has done a really good job of making common sense decisions when it comes to personnel. So that's why dragging this out doesn't make any sense at all to me. Because it seems now that the franchise tag window is open, that it's not a matter of if the Ravens will tag Lamar, it's whether it will be exclusive or non-exclusive. There is a difference. The biggest question is, regardless of which tag it is, do the Ravens see their future with Lamar Jackson, or are they setting up for a rebuild by using Lamar to clear the way to overhaul the roster and start the rebuild? Either way, it seems like the Ravens are taking Lamar for granted. And if he is unhappy, including if he signs with them again, then the consequences will be high on the field as well. Now, if he is your future, then pay the man accordingly. If he is the key to building your future roster, then move him. If you're going to tag him, then tag him. But Baltimore needs to make up their minds, because right now, he is all they have offensively. Outside of Mark Andrews, the Ravens personnel is severely lacking around Lamar. And if he is out of the fold, I don't care how much magic new OC Todd Monken knows, it's not going to work. Now, some people have said the Carolina Panthers may be looking to add Lamar, and he's liked a few of their social media posts, but that means nothing. But the most popular destination I'm hearing right now is the Atlanta Falcons, who have cleared a ton of cap space and could bring Lamar to the ATL. But that would pretty much close the door on being able to surround him with a ton of talent money-wise. Is Lamar worth mortgaging that cap space? I say yes. Desmond Ridder seems to be okay, but Lamar would not only bring a wave of PR, it would make Atlanta much more enticing to bring talent around him in the future. So let's see what Baltimore does. Either way, they've seemed to piss everybody off in the process. All right, David Cohn, former Michigan quarterback. My co-host to the left, my brother Blaine, not bald, former Western State Colorado wide receiver to my right. Feel good, man, surrounded by talent. When it comes to Lamar, I get it's a game, I get it's a business, right? It's all about money. It's trying to get the best deal. What makes the most sense? And it's hard for me not to give Baltimore the benefit of the doubt because not only from a draft perspective, but from a personnel perspective, they have an identity, and I think they've made good common sense decisions, like I've said. But David, I don't understand. If you haven't made your mind up, that's one thing. But I feel like they've had to make their mind up either way. You've had enough time. Either crap or get off the pot. That's basically what I'm saying.
Well, the season just ended, and like you said, the franchise tag window has just opened up. So they still have plenty of time to make their decision here. Look, the Ravens offered, apparently, Lamar Jackson $250 million with $133 million guaranteed. That's a lot of money. That's a significant offer. When you look at Aaron Rodgers getting $150 million guaranteed, Russell Wilson with the massive contract he signed got $165 million guaranteed, Kyler Murray $160 million guaranteed. They're at least in the ballpark there. It's Deshaun Watson's contract of the $230 million guaranteed that has thrown all this off. When you combine the fact that Lamar Jackson is acting as his own agent, that's just going to complicate things. I don't think the Ravens are in the wrong here. You have to ask yourself, are Lamar Jackson's best days in the NFL behind him, or are they ahead of him? In 2019, he had one of the greatest years we've ever seen. He won the MVP. In the past 2 seasons, he's gotten injured. So when you offer someone $250 million, extended through 2027 with $133 million of that guaranteed for a running quarterback or for a quarterback who is at his best when he's able to escape the pocket, and he's gotten injured the past 2 seasons, I don't understand why everybody's blaming the Ravens on the situation. Well, so, I mean, they could either... I think the best option is, like you mentioned, to place the non-exclusive franchise tag on him. Let another franchise do all the work, right? If there's an offer out there, if the market is going to bear a similar contract for Lamar Jackson as they did with Deshaun Watson, let them put the deal together, and then you can either match it or let Lamar Jackson go, and then you get the 2 first-round draft picks.
Yeah, my point is this. You said how much did they offer that was guaranteed to Lamar?
I believe $133 million.
$133 million. So you're telling me if I'm Lamar, I'm going to sit here and just be okay with you paying me, guaranteeing me less than Kyler Murray, who's done nothing with DeAndre Hopkins? I'm supposed to sit here, and Deshaun Watson is an outlier. I'm with you. Deshaun Watson screwed the market.
But he's asking for the full thing guaranteed. There's a big difference between the 133 and the 250. Right? Like
for sure.
That's where the negotiating happens. Like, hey, I want to be more guaranteed than Kyler Murray. I think they would do it.
Oh, exactly.
But
again, I think, look, it's just like anything. One offers low, one offers high. You try and meet in the middle, right? That's the way it works. I can understand that using just like Saquon a little bit, talked about he didn't really want to reset the market when it comes to the running back market and things like that. Deshaun Watson totally reset the market when it came to the quarterbacks. That's why everybody hates the Browns, because they did that and screwed this up. But why would you not at least come from a point of, Lamar, listen, we're not going to get, if you're going to say I'm not guaranteeing you the 250, if we're going to say that, all right, I'm not guaranteeing you the 250. Well, I will promise I will guarantee you more than Kyler. I will guarantee you more than every quarterback outside of Deshaun Watson.
And maybe they have.
And if you say and if you say no to that, but we haven't seen that. Like you talk about offering what, 130? Like I just feel like Lamar. And here's another thing. Let's look at what's around the Ravens. I think it's hard to sit here and say, well, do we know if Lamar Jackson's best future is ahead of him? Hell, I think it's got to be after you look at the roster the past couple of years. You had 1 Pro Bowler on offense this past year, Mark Andrews. Devin Duvernay was a return specialist. Don't give me the Tyler Huntley Pro Bowler thing. That was a joke. I mean, I think we agree on that. Yeah. The Ravens have nothing around this man. They have absolutely nothing around him. I mean, Gus Edwards, cool story. Like it just shocks me that the Ravens haven't said, listen, Lamar, you are our starter, right? You're our fire starter on offense. You are our superstar. I think of the Ravens now, I don't think about defense anymore. I think about Lamar Jackson. To me, I think he's the franchise. So I just wish it could have been clearer. I wish they would have, because typically, man, and Blaine, you know this, the Ravens know who they are. Like, even I can sit here and say I think the system's bad for Lamar, the way they play. I think Monken's going to be a little bit different. I think he's going to be a little more diverse out of a lot of personnels than what Greg Roman was. But when I'm looking at Lamar Jackson, if you're not going to put talent around me and then you're not going to pay me, I'm taking my ass out of here. I'll go to Atlanta. I'll go to Carolina. I'll go to maybe New Orleans or something like that. Where would you go? If you're Lamar Jackson, what are you doing right now?
Oh, if I had the choice just to go somewhere I wanted to go?
Well, I'm talking about
I'm going to the Dolphins.
No, I'm talking about available market right now. The Dolphins aren't signing Lamar Jackson because of Tua.
They can still sign Lamar Jackson with Tua, and they have the cap space. The only thing they can keep Tua and still sign Lamar Jackson.
They can afford to have Tyreek.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to move a couple contracts.
Okay.
You'd have to move a couple contracts, I mean, obviously. But, I mean, if it is, it's money in Miami, so would I be surprised? And what's more dangerous than Lamar Jackson, Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill on a broken play?
Oh, no, that's... Yeah.
Oh, God.
Nobody's arguing that.
Oh, no one's stopping that. I mean, if anything, if my number one pick for Lamar Jackson would be Miami, with the defensive pieces you had, you would have to deal a couple guys, but I think both those people you would deal would be on defense, and you could also deal your starting quarterback too. If I'm the Ravens, you got to find a way to meet in the middle or a little above the middle. I mean, at this point, you could get a lot for Lamar Jackson. I can tell you that right now. You could get a lot for Lamar Jackson, if you want to start completely over, because that is what you'd be doing. You could get a Derek Carr in there. You could get a Ryan Tannehill in there. They're not even close to Lamar, but you'd be a mediocre to good team, and you'd have a lot of draft picks that you can build for the future. Or you go get your number one guy right now. No way it's going to be 250. It has to be close to, I think, 200 range. Yeah. I would probably cap it at 200 because of the injuries with Lamar, you have to be somewhat worried. But if I'm Lamar, the Falcons are a good landing spot. The thing about the Falcons, though, that worries me, they just got out of dead cap space. Yep. They just got out of it, right?
Got out of debt.
With a big quarterback contract, they just got out of that. You'd be basically doing the same thing with Lamar Jackson if you did that, but you haven't got a lot of good pieces, and you have one piece that haven't been really used, right? And that's what? That's Kyle Pitts. I would love to see Kyle Pitts match with Lamar Jackson, match with Drake London, just the guys you would have running around back there. But if I'm Lamar and I had the option, I'm going to the Dolphins.
So let me ask you guys this. Right now, as it stands here, if you had a franchise, just going into this season, not thinking about the long-term future, is Lamar Jackson one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL you would take for your team?
For this
season.
For this season?
For this season. One of the top 5 quarterbacks. Yes. What do you say, Blaine?
Yeah.
Okay. See, not for me. I'm taking Patrick Mahomes before him, Aaron Rodgers this season, Josh Allen. I'm taking Joe Burrow. And then I think a conversation starts to begin about Justin Herbert, and then you start to throw Lamar Jackson in there. I mean, if it's even a question about him being on the periphery of that top 5, why are you going to pay him top 2 money for 6 more seasons? That's my question.
Yeah, well, I think it just depends on what you think about Lamar Jackson. Like, to me, I think Lamar Jackson, when he has weapons around him, is the top 3 quarterback in the league. I think if you give Lamar Jackson what Joe Burrow has, they're destroying people. I mean, you give him T. Higgins, you give him Jamar Chase, you give him Joe Mixon. Lamar Jackson's got nothing. Like, again, I'll sit here and wait for somebody to tell me all the great players that are around Lamar Jackson. The best players that the Ravens have outside of Lamar Jackson are on defense. They just went and got Roquan Smith. I can go down the list. I feel like Lamar Jackson is one of the few quarterbacks in the NFL that can actually still take you to the playoffs or have success without talent around him. Like, imagine if you gave Lamar Jackson some of the receivers that Patrick Mahomes has had. I mean, imagine if you gave him Travis Kelce. Mark Andrews is nice, but imagine if he did have Tyreek Hill, like we talked about with the Dolphins, like Patrick had. Imagine if he just had some tools. Hell, I mean, you look around the NFL, I mean, the Ravens offensively, from an offensive personnel standpoint, have one of the worst teams in the league. I would take
they spent the least, that's for sure.
Yeah,
they're the last in spending.
That's
they're the last in spending.
That's
the best point that you can make. But we're also talking about a franchise that won a Super Bowl with Joe Flacco and Trent Dilfer. They're past 2 Super
But
Bowls.
are you winning Super Bowls
So you can
anymore
say
like
that the game has changed and the rules benefit the offense so much now that you have to have a top 10 quarterback to win a Super Bowl, which is a statement that I do agree with. But this is still a franchise that has had that sort of blue-collar mentality. We're going to play tough defense, which is weird that Todd Monken now has gone to the Ravens coming from Georgia, who had sort of the same identity. Look, someone's going to pay him a lot of money. That's why I think the Ravens would be in a good spot to place that non-exclusive franchise tag on it.
Oh, they're going to
let someone else do all the hard work of piecing the contract together that Lamar says yes to, and then you can match it.
Part of me thinks like maybe this is a sneak job by somebody. Like, are the Jets going to go get him? Like, is this something where we're not hearing where he's actually going? Because I mean, I've seen this before, where you're floated this, floated that. We see it in the draft all the time, right? Oh, well, they're going to move up and take this guy. Who is it right now that we're not seeing? Is it the Raiders? Like, is it who is it? Could Lamar end up going to a place right now that we're not even talking about? Because it's just like in coaching, right? We always talk about it's the first guy you hear never gets it. Like the first guy that's always like, oh, well, this is who they're going after, typically never gets it. Very rarely does that happen. I just wonder, that's what makes the NFL so fascinating. And coming up on the draft with the Ravens' identity from a spending standpoint, you're exactly right on that. So that's what I find fascinating. But speaking about spending, you're going to spend money on sports gambling. You need to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, because new customers can place $5 on any pregame moneyline bet and get $150 in bonus bets if it wins. That's only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOSTER. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. How much money can I put on Bama tonight at home against Auburn?
You won't do it.
How much
won't
money?
do it.
Oh, it's hard for me not to put 500 on it. They're going to murder Auburn.
Auburn kept it close last time.
Yeah, in Auburn, they're going to murder Auburn. Auburn couldn't shoot their way out of a gun range. They're going to, Brandon Miller may
What's
go
that
for
line,
60.
10 right now?
It was at 9.5 in the same game parlay. It was at 10 when I saw it on the surface. It's going to be a murder.
I can't wait not to watch it.
Oh, no, I'm
not.
That's the best part. Look, that's the best part.
I'll watch probably 2 minutes of the first half. All I need to see.
No, here's what I'll do. I'll watch the first 5 minutes. And then when Alabama goes up 16-4, then I'm going to turn it off and just count my money at the end. I'll go watch another game that's competitive. But the personnel that Auburn has, they're just not good enough. But use that code at DraftKings, BOOSTER. Like I said, it's a hell of a deal. And the same game parlays as well.
SGPs?
North Carolina, Virginia the other day on the same game parlay, threaded the needle. Had North Carolina, I think, -2.5 over in the TTP for both teams. Yeah, and it hit. One I think 220. It was a good night. It was a good Friday night. It's the Crain household.
Lock it up.
What's going on over there in the trust tree?
Let's talk about it. Let's go to Mike RFF. It's a lifestyle, baby. He wants to know, do you believe Lamar Jackson will win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years?
I got to see where he's at. Like it's until I know where he's at, that's an impossible guess for me.
He's in one of the best places to do it in Baltimore. John Harbaugh's proven he can be a Super Bowl champion. Or you can go to the Panthers and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I just got to see where you are and what's around you. Like that's impossible. Like if I can answer like this, if he's in a great situation, yes. If he's in a terrible situation, no. So that's the only answer I can give you right now. Make sure
he goes to the Jets next 5 years.
Yes.
Maybe.
Good for you.
No.
Good for you, Dave. Let's go to Zach Wilson. He said, who should stay more?
The Jets.
Lamar or Aaron? Stay on their team.
Stay more?
Yeah.
Aaron, because you got that guaranteed money still there with the Packers.
Yeah.
And look, I'll say this. Aaron has won a Super Bowl with the Packers. You know, you did do that. I don't think it'd be bad to ride off in the sunset with them, but I think they both should leave. I think the best decision for both of them. I saw where they came out and somebody said with the Packers that they feel like Jordan Love's ready to be an NFL starting quarterback.
I'm not in love with that, to be honest.
Okay. Y'all's fans.
How much of that is posturing, though?
Yeah, it's all posturing. But if that does
happen.
What
I needed to see?
Yeah,
they're in a different scenario. Like you said, Aaron Rodgers has gotten multiple contracts. This past one has made him the highest paid quarterback just on the average, not in the total guaranteed money. And he's won a Super Bowl, like Jake said. So he could walk away from the game, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
who knows?
Lamar Jackson's going to get paid by somebody a lot of money. And that's money that, he needs. He's still in his 20s.
Yeah.
All
right, let's go to Daily Wire. Out of context, $5 donation. She said, need some prayers for my Booster Club today. # love y'all. Love you, Daily Wire.
Yeah. Love you, Daily Wire Eye Context. I'll let you tell that story in the chat before I do.
$5 donation from Mike RFF. He says, "Congrats, fellas." Tempo here from Daily Wire chat. Head of a rugby ball investigation and inventor of blankles. Did not know that. How many OG boosters will donate today? That's the question. Everybody asks.
That is the question. If everybody donates $1, we're rich.
Let's go to Deacon and Nora, hashtag Ask Crain and Company. If he does go to the Ravens/Falcons, can he even be successful?
If he goes back to the Ravens and there's no weapons, look, football isn't basketball or baseball. It's tough for one person to go out there and win the game. You have to have a team around you. I think the Falcons, again, when you look at the cap space they cleared, it's just like anything. It's like, all right, I just got out of debt. Do I want to go ahead and buy the house and get back in debt? Like, is that? If the Falcon, it all comes down to how the Falcons feel about Desmond Ridder. Let's be honest. That's what this comes down to.
Who did get better throughout the year.
Yeah, but is Desmond Ridder the guy? I know you look around the division, you're like, well, even if Derek Carr goes to the Saints, nobody really scares the hell out of me when I'm looking at the NFC South. But, right now it seems like the destination for Lamar is in the NFC South. Now, is that with the Falcons? Is that with the Panthers? Is that with the Saints? I think the Saints is the best situation that he could go to right off the rip, even though Alvin Kamara is going to be in some trouble after that video came out of him beating the hell out of that guy at that casino or whatever. Again, it's going to come down to what's around you. Right now, if you go to the Falcons and you do have Drake London and you do have Kyle Pitts and Cordero Patterson, who we know can be effective in the run game. Hell, I love the young guy, Tyler Algiers, they got at running back. Now, defensively, they got to add some pieces. But why does Lamar to the Falcons just sound right?
It does.
Like, why does that feel? Is it because of Vic?
Probably because of Michael Vick. Probably because of Michael Vick. But he would. Lamar
I don't know why
Jackson
that just
would
makes
run that
sense.
Town. Would he still? The question from before: would he win a Super Bowl there? I don't think so. But he would do really well there. If any part of the Falcons released Marcus Mariota because you believe in Desmond Ridder or because you've seen something that you like and that gave you the confidence to cut Marcus Mariota, then you're not signing anyone like Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
What would be more interesting is if you went and signed someone like Carson Wentz who just got cut.
Oh, who's going to
then all of a sudden you at least have someone with more experience with the plan to be that someone like Wentz could come in and be a backup. Right, and if he was forced into action, at least you have a guy who can go in there and play football.
Let me ask you this though. Like here's the thing about, and I totally understand what you're saying. I'm not saying you're wrong, but do I want Carson Wentz teaching my young quarterback? Like, bro, what did you do? Like all you've done has been a disaster, dog.
Well, it wouldn't be teaching as much as just having...
Well, just that influence of like... In
the words of Ryan Tannehill, that's not his job.
Yeah, well, no, it's not even that. It's like, look, and you won a Super Bowl with the Eagles. I got to give Nick Foles credit, though, for what he came in and did. And Carson Wentz seems like a great guy, good team guy. You never hear any problems with Carson about the team. But, man, that guy's just got a lot of loser in him, dog.
I agree.
I don't know a better way to say it.
But the statement we made yesterday, or Blaine made the statement, Carson Wentz is a backup in the NFL, right? And we kind of all agreed with it. Well, where better to be a backup than when you have a quarterback situation with a young guy who's trying to prove himself in his first year as the starting quarterback. He had a couple starts last year, but first full-time starter in Desmond Ridder with the Falcons. That way, you sort of at least have an option behind him who can go in and take snaps.
Yeah. And I don't think it's obviously not crazy to have a backup quarterback that can go in there and do what they do. I don't know, maybe it's the superstition in me or just the believer in that like ambiance that you bring. I don't know. It's a fascinating conversation. But what else in the booster club?
So they got Felipe Franks on the roster. Forgot about it.
The Falcons do?
Yeah. Gotcha. Let's go to Texas Ed. What's up, Texas Ed? Hashtag Ask Crain and Company. Are we getting to the point where the quarterback is taking too large a percentage of the cap space to have enough left for a team to actually win a championship?
Well, again, the quarterback's always going to it's going to go quarterback, tackle, defensive end. That's what it's going to go typically from a money standpoint. But you do wonder, and this is where you see the smart guys like Tom Brady and some of these other quarterbacks that have said, you know what? I will take a little bit less to put talent around me. You have guys like Aaron Rodgers that are like, you know what? Give me all the money and we'll figure it out after that. What I think you're going to see is you're going to have I think Jalen Hurts is in the vein of pay me money, but I want to have talent around me because it's obviously what he's used to now and knows how important it is. I just think it depends on the person.
Yeah.
That's just, it depends
And
on
that's one of the interesting things about Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson. With Aaron Rodgers, it was sort of like, you haven't been drafting for me, at least not on the offensive side of the ball, including a pick where you got a guy who you want to be my backup in Jordan Love a few seasons ago. Maybe that led to him saying, okay, I want all the money possible. Right? Maybe Lamar Jackson's in a similar situation. Ravens last place in spending on offense. Maybe he's saying, well, yeah, I do want everything I can get guaranteed if you're not spending that on my teammates. Whereas maybe he would accept a different offer from, say, the 49ers or Dolphins or Cowboys, a sort of team that is already loaded, right?
Yeah.
Not that those necessarily the Cowboys have, an opening or anything, but complete roster for sure.
Yeah. Remember, we are taking calls, live call-ins today. The number is 1-855-236-3228. That's 1-855-236-3228. We're going to be taking calls here in a minute, so get ready to knock those out. We've had some great call-ins already this week. I do want to give a shout-out, though. This morning, got up, not going to lie, typically I hop out of the bed like I'm possessed, man. Like I'm used to getting up, rocking and rolling, getting in my routine. For some reason, was dragging a little bit this morning. Then I hit that Black Rifle coffee.
Oh, you did?
You were a dragon this morning?
Yeah, I was a dragon this morning.
Nice.
100% dragon, which I can't wait for the Flaming Dragon roast that's coming out. Because we all know life is too short to be drinking bad coffee. All right, you got to upgrade yourself, man. The Sit and Terror on the Prairie type coffee. We're talking good coffee. All right, you need to go to blackriflecoffee.com. Even though I bet Gina Carano can make a good pot of coffee in a log cabin. That's a story for another day. Yep. You need to go to blackriflecoffee.com. Use our promo code BOOSTER. That's BOOSTER. You see a pattern here, and you'll get 10% off your purchase and your first coffee club order. 2 greatest clubs, Booster Club, Coffee Club. 3rd best club, Turkey Club. That's blackriflecoffee.com. And use promo code BOOSTER for 10% off. You can also find Black Rifle Coffee in grocery and convenience stores near you. That's how you know they're doing good. Black Rifle Coffee, America's coffee. Wake up and wake up. What do you got over there, David?
I got gunship. Imagine that, a ship with guns. Gunship.
Oh.
And I get my coffee.
Protected.
Win.
And delicious.
And an American flag.
What do you got over there?
Power llama.
Where is it?
It's behind me.
It is?
A llama with guns. What are you going to say about that, huh?
That's my type of llama.
Yeah. Welcome to Egypt.
Let's go to the Booster Club real quick, then I want to get to fit it in a minute.
All right, it's good. That name just got me, to be honest. I just didn't expect
It's one of my best that I've come up with.
Fit it in a minute. All right, let's go to Stephen Moore. He wants more, y'all. If you were a Carolina GM, all right, you're in that office looking over the field, all right, would you use your picks on the draft, or would you bundle the picks for a big name, like a Lamar, like me?
Well, look, I believe in Matt Corral. So if it's me, look, let me put some talent around him.
Matty Magic, huh?
Look, let me let the Golden Corral get out there and just the all-you-can-score buffet. No, I'm using picks in the draft. Let's build it. Let's build it. New coach, regardless of what you think about Frank Reich.
Are you trading up?
Am I trading up?
Are you trading up in that draft to go get you a Q?
No.
No.
I'm done with Matt Corral.
Okay.
Look, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Y'all believe.
Wow.
Throwing touchdowns.
Y'all really believe.
I'd like to see a little something.
Y'all really believe.
No, I believe. Well, look, I'm the GM. I've already seen it. Like, I know. Okay, I've watched the tape. I get it. I'm listening to the players in the locker room. God, we really like Matt. Man, Matt just feels right.
Again, there's so many similarities with Kenny Pickett, and watching Kenny Pickett have success with the Steelers this season, I believe in Matt Corral even more. Like, man, he can go out there and have success.
I'm just telling you, man. I can't wait to be right about this. I cannot wait to be right about Matt Corral. It's a brand new day.
All right, let's go to Travis Elrod. What up, T.L.Rod?
No.
Hashtag Ask Crain and Company. Do the Ravens even have the ability to get more weapons?
If they get rid of Lamar.
If they pay Lamar.
Yeah. Oh, if they pay Lamar?
If they pay Lamar.
Well, again, it's going to come down to, all right, if you're going to pay Lamar, what's that number? Like, is that 200 guaranteed like we talked about? Or is that 150 guaranteed? Because when it comes down to it, that could be the difference in going to get another person. Because I don't think Lamar's coming back to the Ravens unless he knows he's getting help. Like, I'm not going. You're either paying me all the money that Baltimore has, which if you've walked outside in Baltimore lately, it's not a lot. But if you're either going to pay me all the money or you're going to promise me you're getting me weapons. You're going to just promise. You're going to look at me like Zelensky and say, I'm going to give you weapons. All right,
it's usually pretty easy to get weapons in Baltimore. Let's be honest.
That's 100% correct. That was good.
That was a good one, Blaine.
That was.
Thank you, control room. I appreciate that. All right, well, let's go to Dirk Shaw.
Ooh.
All right, he says, what do the Bears do with Fields in their first pick? All right, do they trade them all? They trade all their picks to get Caleb Williams next year.
Okay, here's my thing about Justin Fields. How are people still sleeping on Justin Fields? Okay, we just talked about Lamar not having any weapons, right? Lamar's played in the league a while. We know Lamar's. Justin Fields had less weapons than Lamar. Okay, I like Cole Kmet, but he's not Mark Andrews. Darnell Mooney got hurt during the year. The Bears got nobody. Okay, was David Montgomery? Ooh, cool. Justin Fields, you know how hard it is to just have somewhat success, like a modicum of success at quarterback without any help? Do you know how hard it is to have a modicum of success at quarterback when everybody knows you're going to run it at quarterback and you still have success? It will never be harder for Justin Fields to have success than it was the past couple of years of the Bears. Justin Fields has a chance to be a top 5 quarterback in the league. Like, I really, really believe that. I think he does have the touch to be able to throw. Is he the greatest thrower in the NFL? No, but he doesn't have to be. That's the thing. Justin Fields is an elite talent. If I'm the Bears, here's what I am saying. I know what I have. I believe in Justin Fields. We're going to let this thing ride because he's that talented. We've got the number 1 pick. I am going to trade that number 1 pick to, I don't know, the Colts, because I can still get Will Anderson Jr. or Jalen Carter in that spot. Why would you not trade for that?
Yes.
But the one thing I'm for sure not doing, I am not going to take Batman out of the Batcave and give Robin a chance. I want Batman. I want Bruce Wayne. To win a Super Bowl, you need Batman. Justin Fields is Batman. You're not getting there with Robin or Shazam. So the Bears fans, I've seen some Bears fans that have looked at me and said, oh, well, we need to get rid of Justin Fields and go up and get somebody at number 1. What? Like, Justin Fields, to me, is a more proven commodity than anything built around this man. Look at what Jalen Hurts just did. Justin Fields is, you put Justin Fields on the Eagles, it's even more dominant. Like, you have an elite runner and he's a good enough thrower. Maybe I'm just higher on Justin Fields than everybody else is. No, but you know what I'm saying? I just don't understand
that pick down. They're going to trade that pick down, still get probably, they could trade that pick down and still potentially get the best player in the draft, right? With either Will Anderson Jr. or Jalen Carter. And the fact we're even talking about the Bears having the number 1 overall pick is still crazy. Remember, it was the Texans. It was the Texans that were supposed to have that number 1 overall pick. Yeah. Then Lovie Smith came out there and said, you know what? We're going to win this ball game. We're going to win this game.
Well, it's like, again, you look, right now the Bears are at 1, the Texans are at 2, the Cardinals are at 3, the Colts are at 4. Why, if I'm Chicago, do I not look, the Cardinals obviously aren't taking a quarterback, so you worry about that a little bit when it comes down to Will Anderson and Jalen Carter. But you know, one of them's, the Texans are taking a quarterback. Probably going to be CJ is what I think. I think the Colts going to trade up and either get Bryce or CJ, or the Texans are going to take CJ at 2. But if I'm the Bears, I'm losing nothing. I am losing nothing. And since you do have the Texans at 2, and they're talking about, well, the Seahawks may want a quarterback to instead of Geno Smith, which I think is absolutely nuts after what he did last year when you see that chemistry, you have a legitimate threat to the Colts not getting their guy. So I'm going to the Colts like, look, I want all of it. I'm trading someone pick. I want all. You want your quarterback? All right. I've got to surround Justin with something. Now, does that mean I say, all right, give me Michael Pittman Jr.? Does that and I don't know exactly what the contract deals are on Pittman, but I know just in general, if I'm the Bears, I'm trading that pick, I'm keeping Justin Fields, and I'm surrounding him with weapons. Because you got to fill holes on defense too, man. You got rid of Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn.
Well, part of your ability to get all of it is to make the rest of the league think that you don't need to trade that pick.
Yep.
Like, hey, we're actually interested in maybe trading Justin Fields and taking a quarterback ourselves. I think it's just a chess match at this point.
It is. It's like, how quick do I text back, to her? I don't want her to text. I don't want her to send me a text. I just text right back so she knows I'm staring at the phone and I'm nervy. I don't know. Maybe I'll wait 6 or 7 minutes. Maybe walk around the house a couple times. Huh?
Your fiance?
No, with Reed. It took me 3 times to get her number. I was just climbing up the tree on that one. But look, sometimes you got to climb up the beanstalk to fight the boss.
I've done it.
Yeah. Well, you
and
are
guess
the
what?
beanstalk.
I'm here.
Yeah.
So I won.
You still looking at that beanstalk.
Yeah.
Jack?
All right, let's go to Fit It in a minute.
Fit It in a minute. Do we have the clock?
Yes. Let me tell people if they don't know, we started this last week, and it was so much fun. that Cone is going to read the headline news, and he's going to try and do it in a minute. And he's 1-0. All right? Now what the rules are is that if he screws up, he has to start over, but the clock doesn't start over.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a new rule. What do you mean if I mess up?
So, no, you mispronounce somebody's name, you screw up, you hesitate, you pull a Papa Doc in 8 Mile.
Oh, boy.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, boy.
Like you do that, then, like, let's say you've read 28 seconds worth of stuff. You got to start over with 32 seconds left.
All right.
All right, you ready? Let's put a minute on the clock.
All right, tell
All the
me
pressure's on. David Cone, big house, 100,000.
Falcons release quarterback Marcus Mariota. The Tampa Bay Bucks will release running back Leonard Fournette. The Giants plan to release wide receiver Kenny Golladay. The Browns plan to release safety John Johnson at the start of the league year. Bengals team executive Duke Tobin says T. Higgins is not on the trading block, telling other teams, find your own receiver. Titans GM Rand Carthen says the team is excited to move forward with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. The Miami Dolphins have yet to pick up the fifth-year option for Tua Tagovailoa. Bills DC Leslie Frazier is taking a year off this season and plans to return to football in 2024. The Eagles are promoting quarterback coach Brian Johnson to OC, replacing new Colts head coach Shane Steichen. The Eagles are also defending the rugby quarterback sneak as the league plans to revisit the rule. The Commanders have franchise tag defensive tackle Darren Payne, and the Commanders owner Dan Snyder allegedly took out $55 million loan without board approval, which is now the primary focus of federal investigation.
Woo! 2 seconds left. That's
Let's go.
That is unbelievably impressive.
I'm Shia LaBeouf hard right now.
I didn't believe
that's worth
You pushed that last one out.
That's worth that.
Pushed that last one out.
Knowing you'd have to start over.
Did you see me at all over here?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I saw
Okay, good
everything.
point.
You hit me with paper.
Yeah.
What all was going on over there?
I did.
No, I was choking Blaine to death over there. Did you see that?
I didn't see that.
Oh, you'll see it.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, no, that was a great Cone. I'm impressed.
Sir?
What does the Booster Club think about it?
They love it. Great job. Travis Elrod says, boom. Kanye Ron said, Cone owns it. Papa John wants you to know you did a nice job, son.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Papa John.
Papa John?
Papa John's in there?
That's a lot of love.
Man, Papa John and Dabo.
Sister Rick says, Cone's definition of keeping it fit.
I keep it steady.
Got some donations. We want those?
Yeah, let's hit those.
Okay, let's go to those. Cody Tony Wilson. All right. $5 donation. You're like 0 for 9.
I'm just getting that out of the
I hope
way.
you. I need you in the future here coming soon. The big things moving. I need you in the corner
Look,
popping that 3.
Look, you know the rules.
All right, drive and kick. All right. Is there a world where the Falcons move to number 1 and draft Jalen Carter, and what would it cost?
I mean,
Where are they now?
I believe they are
they're at 8.
They're at 8, yeah.
Like, so I'm going to look at the Bears, and I'm going to say I'm going to move to number 1 when I know you're probably trading with somebody to get a quarterback. Like, if again, you've got the Raiders at 7, you got the Lions at 6, you got the Seahawks at 5. A lot of this comes down, if we're going to talk about that, to what the Seahawks are going to do. Because if the Seahawks decide to take a quarterback, then you're looking at the Cardinals probably taking Will Anderson or Jalen Carter, and then you got the Lions, who I think are going to take somebody in the secondary. Do they go grab a DB early? You know, Blaine, you talked about Joey Porter Jr. For the Lions, and then the Raiders, they need help defensively too. What are they going to do at quarterback? We're going to see now that Derek's leaving. But if I'm the Falcons, no. I'm not trading up to 1 to get Jalen Carter because, again, the Bears, you're probably not going to be able to give the Bears what the Colts will give the Bears
For a quarterback.
For a quarterback.
Exactly.
Like, I don't see that in reality. It's, again, crazier things have happened in the NFL draft, but I would actually be shocked if that happened.
Yep.
All right, let's go to Laura Brown with a $5 donation. Appreciate it, Laura. Can we talk about how KC's develops players? Part of the reason Mahomes has weapons around him is because of the coaching staff. They definitely know how to develop raw talent.
Yeah, well, it's not even just developing; it's putting them in the right position schematically. I don't think anybody has benefited more from scheme than the players on the Chiefs, especially offensively. And Spags does a great job on defense. We saw what he was able to do in the playoffs. We've seen it throughout his career. But again, the Chiefs have an answer for everything. Their modified run game, which is the quick passing game, to me, I think has taken so much pressure off Patrick Mahomes and made them such a threat in the short game, in the intermediate game, and then in the long game. I mean, look what just happened. You want to talk about how good they are schematically? You lost one of the most electric players that I've ever seen in the game of football in Tyreek Hill, a guy who made Patrick Mahomes right a whole hell of a lot, a guy that opened up a lot of things for Travis Kelce in the middle of the field. you lost him. Not only did you lose him, you were beat to hell at the wide receiver position, really down the stretch, and you were still able, with the help of Patrick Mahomes, who is a witch of the highest order, we cannot discount that. But I do not know if there is a team I've seen in the NFL that has benefited more schematically on offense than the Kansas City Chiefs personnel. And that's kudos to Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy.
Yep.
All right, let's go to Texas. Ed with the $36.60 donation.
Love to
Appreciate
see
it,
it.
Texas. He said, for just 10 cents a day, you too can support a sports fan that needs a sports show without an agenda. Cue Sarah McLachlan music.
You say a ninja?
Agenda.
Oh.
Cue Sarah McLachlan music. Happy anniversary, Crain & Co. team.
Texas Ed.
Thank you, Texas
buddy.
Ed.
We appreciate that. Without you, there is no us. All right, let's get to a rapid fire.
Rapid fire. All right. Bills safety Jordan Poyer says he would love to play for a team in a state that doesn't take half his money. Says the taxes in New York are crazy. We talked about this a little bit last year.
We talked about it last year. You're going to start seeing this more and more. I don't blame them. What ends up mattering more? Let's be honest. At the end of the day, going to play at a place where you can win quickly, or going to play at a place where you can keep your money for longer and get more of it. To me, I'm worried about the family that I go home to at night a lot more than I'm worried about what's going on in that locker room. Now, I think you got to look at where you are in your career. If you're an older guy that's made their money but you haven't really won, I'll go to New York. I'll go out to the Niners, to Cali, and deal with that tax stuff. But if I'm a young guy or I'm somebody that's coming off my rookie contract, going into my second contract,
Florida.
and I want that bag, take my ass to Texas, Florida or Tennessee, dog. Take my ass to those three places. I'm not going to give y'all, I don't want to give half my money to Adam Schiff, who's just going to use it to do God knows what, God knows where. I don't want these people taking half of my money. Hell, half y'all left anyway. Take me to Texas or Florida.
We're going to start seeing more free agents pick teams and states based off income taxes. Right?
Look, a lot of these guys, I'd probably say more than 80% of them, 90% of them care about money more than winning.
For sure.
They really do. This isn't the old days. There ain't a lot of Tom Brady's walking out here anymore. So if me,
he went to Florida.
Yeah,
he went to Florida.
Yeah. I mean, he just got another house, and his girlfriend's an absolute smoke show. So Tom's doing fine. But why would you want to play for the Bills or the Jets? Lose all that money just to be mediocre and blow it in the playoffs, Josh? It's disgusting.
That sounds personal.
Yeah.
It was.
No, look, it's just like anything. I want to go to where I can keep the most money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care what business it is. I don't care if it's football. I don't care if it's badminton.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if I'm an accountant or if I'm a guy that shines shoes next to a toy store.
Could you imagine losing money and being cold all the time?
Oh, I couldn't do it.
Oh, the worst.
No, can you imagine playing for playing for a team in New York or California and just sucking? Like, not only are you taking my money, but suck.
It's like, look, I know we had a rough year, but let me make it better. Give me $7 million.
Yeah, it's like you just walk in at gunpoint.
Yeah,
look, I need $100.
Man, if agents start to recommend, like, hey, I know this is a smaller market, and on paper, this team from this city, the contract offer
it's going to bleed into college,
big, but you'll keep more of your money. I wonder if that's going to start to play.
Well, like what I'm saying, all I know is those agents get a commission off that contract, and the more money that's able to be kept off that contract, the more money that commission's going to hit for that agent. So I know where they're going to go win it, and the same place the players are going to go.
Yeah,
that's smart.
All right, next one here. Talking about Tennessee. The University of Tennessee football team had 4 assistant coaches accept show cause penalties for their time coaching under Jeremy Pruitt with the NCAA investigation penalties that they received. Now, the NCAA announced the penalties but did not release the names of the staff members. SI.com reported that it was former UT inside linebackers coach Bryant Niedermeyer. We have Director of Player Personnel Drew Hughes, Student Assistant Michael Magnus, and outside linebackers coach Shelton Felton.
Shelton Felton?
Shelton Felton.
First off,
Blaine, what do you think about Blaine, what do you
Let's not get on here and make fun of people who names that rhyme.
Blaine Crain?
Let's not do that.
No, really?
All right, let's not.
Really, Blaine Crain?
Not today, guys.
Well,
not today.
You know what? Like, you read it, it's like, yeah, man, Director of Player Personnel, inside linebackers coach, student assistant. Like, damn, y'all hit the student assistant? Like, he just doing what they told him to do.
Exactly, and now he can't go coach at another university.
Like, come on, man. Like, y'all hit that guy? He's like 17.
If I'm him, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not doing it.
Like
Whatever
Jim
saying.
Harbaugh. Like,
Yeah.
nah, NCAA.
No, I'm not going to do it. I don't care. What are you
What
gonna
if
do?
what if it was his whole idea?
Again,
Like, he was behind it all.
Yeah, like, no.
It's a mastermind.
It's what Penny Hardaway said. They're like, Memphis, you're going to get in trouble. Penny Hardaway was like, nah.
No, we're not.
They're like, Penny, you're suspended. He's like, nah.
Not gonna do it.
If I was Jim Harbaugh, they're talking about the burger, I'd go buy burgers for everybody. Like, I'm so tired of the NCAA. Y'all are going to suspend, we're talking about, and I know it's a little old news, like the Cavender twins from Miami were the first, like, NIL people to get, like, oh, you had dinner with John Ruiz, the big booster. Like, we're getting mad about people having dinners. Like, for real.
You ever been to
like, when
Tops?
all this stuff, like, we got people, like, suffering from world hunger all over the world. We're getting mad at people about dinners.
Man, you know why I heard that Michigan lost to TCU in the playoff? Because when Jim Harbaugh took the recruits to Little Brown Jug and they got the cheeseburgers, they didn't get the fried cheese balls.
Yeah, no.
Massive
If I
error.
was Jim Harbaugh, I would
Massive
dress
error.
up like the Hamburgler every day.
So it's
Every
like,
day
every-
until the
he does.
first.
Look, on
every
Twitter, I
day.
even saw this. There's New Balance that came out as cleats, like spikes. I was like, if Jim Harbaugh sees these, it's over with.
Wait, say that again?
Like New Balance shoes.
Really?
With spikes on them.
spikes on 'em?
Yeah. It's like, these
Hey.
are Jim Harbaugh written all over.
Natty or
The Harbaughs?
bust.
Natty or
Natty
bust. If
or
I saw
bust.
Jim walk out in some khakis and some New Balance with spikes on it,
Inside?
running
Michigan
down,
by 30.
running down Lloyd Carr Tunnel.
Michigan by 30,
Yeah.
doesn't matter who they're playing.
TCU's got no shot. All right, we're taking your calls, 1-855-236-3228. Really excited about that. That's 1-855-236-3228. You can ask us about anything, including, man, did y'all see where old boy from Ukraine was like, yeah, man, if we don't win, then America's going to have to send all their sons and daughters over here. Like, dog, who you think you are, little boy? like Florida A&M doesn't tell Bama what to do. What? I saw you with a guitar with your shirt off and your underwear and like America's Got Talent. You don't tell us a damn thing to.
When did he say that?
Oh, literally, I think yesterday. He's like, well, we don't do this. America's going to be sending their son. Watch your mouth, dog. Like, I know it's screwed up what's happening to y'all, but you don't tell us what to do. You don't come into daddy's house and tell him what to do. All right, y'all dropping the bucket. Y'all, what, size of Connecticut? Something like that? Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. I'll tell you to your face. But anyways.
He would.
Yeah.
I think he would. I think he
Look,
would.
I know me.
Right.
It's like, yo, how's your day out there, guys? Made
Is it
some
cooked?
tacos.
I'm like, imagine that.
Made some tacos
Imagine that.
for you.
Saying, oh, no, America, you're going to, like, you're in charge of what? You walk around in a jumpsuit, dog.
that's
You
it.
look like Adam Sandler in every movie he's ever been in. You're going to tell me what to do?
It's not going to come down to him. It's going to come down to that brain dead guy in the White House.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Get into that.
Last couple here. Novak Djokovic became he spent the most weeks as world number one in tennis history at 378.
Joker,
weeks.
baby.
Look at his face and his
called
picture.
That's
You
a
want to talk
weak
about
focus.
focus?
Now, what's interesting is he had already passed Federer.
Yeah.
Federer was at 310 weeks as world number one, but a lot of Djokovic fans are saying, well, that they started to include the three females who had spent more weeks at world number one just to like hate on Novak Djokovic, and now he's surpassed them as well. So look, you gotta give Novak Djokovic his due, man.
It's unbelievable.
It's
One of the most
incredible.
talented athletes I've ever seen in my
378
life.
weeks as world number one.
And he has conviction. He stands up for what
Yeah.
he believes in. Like
He
a lot of
does,
these guys
man.
duck the smoke, including Federer.
I can't lie. I've never been a Djokovic fan. I've always been a Nadal
He's
fan.
always
but
kind of been my
man,
favorite.
He is just
The Joker?
He is just incredible.
always kind of been my favorite.
And he's not
I'm a
stopping.
Nadal guy.
He's not stopping. That's the thing.
Oh,
You
you're
just
a
saw
Nadal
Nadal. Nadal's going to be out of the Miami Open, I believe. He's going to sit out a couple of these first clay matches. Novak Djokovic isn't slowing down.
No.
But did you see the lacrosse fight?
Yo, we got to
You
watch
see the
Did
lacrosse
I?
fight,
Thank
Blaine?
you.
They're starting to implement your strategy.
All right,
I
this
mean,
is a professional lacrosse
It's the only
league.
way I'd watch lacrosse.
Or a semi-pro lacrosse league, but they allow fighting like in hockey. Blaine said he wants fighting in all sports. This is one. Let's go ahead and play the clip. I think you'll find this interesting. You can
Yes.
see here. We got some pushing and shoving. Here we go. Gloves off, mask off. Let's
Give
go.
me that
Everybody
kid
gets
right
set
there.
up. Look,
Yeah,
I want
so
it
this is like
clean.
hockey.
Pulls the shorts up. Here we go.
Yep, no touching of the hair, face.
So
No
right.
rules.
So
Here we
right.
go. It's a good start by 28. It's a good start by 28.
Pull and
you
punch.
just got to throw.
Pull and punch.
You just
Another
gotta-
one.
Yeah, the guy in the blues just takes
You're done, buddy. You're not built for it. You're throwing jabs out here.
Well, he's trying to
There's
get
no
you
time for
to-
You got
jabs.
a jab. You got a jab.
No, not here. Not with one arm gone.
Oh, there's the flip.
there it
Now
is.
you
The
call it.
takedown.
There it is.
Look, good
Now you
fight.
call it.
Good
Loved
fight
it.
right there. Let's move on.
Yeah.
That's clean.
Let's move on. I'm
Go
good with
wrestle a
that.
little
not
bit,
a full
fellas. We'll
team
see y'all out here in a
brawl.
little bit.
I'm good with that. Look, I don't.
All sports.
I like lacrosse like it is, but I think adding fighting could
All sports.
To every sport.
All sports.
not to every sport. But
All
to
sports.
lacrosse.
All sports.
Figure skating.
Let's fight.
Like I feel like we don't need fighting.
Gymnastics.
Let's go at it.
No, talking about gymnasts start fighting?
What?
Oh, that'd
What?
be great.
I'd watch that.
Imagine how would they
What's
fight?
the sport you wouldn't watch because they added fight?
No. Hold on. Let's really explore this. Women's gymnastics, they start fighting. You think like it's not fighting like that? Like they're doing cartwheels around, like jumping off stuff. Like it's like an anime fight.
All right.
Like thing one and thing
Bear
two.
with me
it's
on
like a
this one.
doctor's
Bear with me on
split.
this one.
Those sports, I mean, what's up?
UFC.
I don't know. I don't know.
What if they fight?
They should let a
like,
fan come in and just get knocked out.
Oh,
See, that's why UFC's so great. They just fight.
they fight. No,
They just fight. Look,
fighting
baseball.
has been popular forever.
Baseball, let them fight. Football, please.
Well,
please.
why in football? Like to me, you already have some fights in football, but again, I don't think you need to fight in football because it's so inherently violent. I don't think football needs to be even add any more violence to as already violent as it is. Like
I think
maybe
they
it's
should.
the sports that don't have violence. I think is what you're saying.
Can you just imagine watching an end and a left tackle fight?
No, you know what?
That's like Godzilla versus King Kong.
You know what I want to watch him do? I want to snap the ball and I want to watch him pass.
That's the cool thing about it. You get to watch that too. That's the cool thing about it.
I think you're doing too
They're going to fight maybe one time in the entire game.
I think you would have a chance to like actually get movement on that if you didn't include football.
The amount of DBs that I've wanted to fight in my life.
Well, again,
it's a lot. Like let them go.
Yeah.
Last one here.
Yeah,
Did you
Elsa.
see the? Did you guys see the Iowa stare down?
Dude, this is so great.
This was unbelievable.
I've
watched
seen a
this
lot.
live.
Look,
You
I've
saw it live?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of stare downs, okay, in a multitude of sports. This right here, even though it's from a guy named Fran, is the greatest stare down I've ever seen in sports. We've got Iowa, Michigan State, in what ended up being an absolute classic.
Yeah.
Watch this coach stare down the referee. As somebody, as myself, who is not a big fan of referees, I would like to tell Coach McCaffrey, congrats to you, dog. I love it. I respect it. And there's a reason you guys won. Let's play the clip. So there he is. Look at him right here. No words. Watch this. Just staring at him.
When you strike out 3 times in a game.
Wow.
Walking up to you.
Getting even closer.
Back in the day.
Look at this. Look, he's trying to get. No, hell no. I'm getting closer.
He got thrown out the other day.
This
Yeah,
is the
look at the
greatest.
ref.
Yeah,
There
the
we
ref's
go.
gonna stand
And
closer.
who backed down? The coach. The coach backed
I
down.
love it.
I love the ref.
Look at that
Good for that
flexing,
ref, man.
too. Look at him flexing
He
right
said,
there.
"You want some of this?"
Those
Nice
pecs.
chest.
Like,
Nice
dog,
chest.
it's
Nice
like,
chest.
come on, man. I'm having to look down to see you. Let me put you in top.
Oh, my money's on the ref.
I'm team ref here.
I don't know. I
love it. Let him fight. Let him fight.
see like that. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, let him fight.
I wouldn't
After that
mind
stare
that.
down,
And let
him
the
fight.
other refs ref it? Is that
Yeah.
what
Watch
Yeah.
Frank
Let him
Martin.
fight.
Watch Frank Martin out there just like end up putting somebody in the back of a trunk.
Would
I
be
mean,
the best.
at that point, I
Look, there's
my
2
money on
coaches
Juwan
that I
Howard.
wouldn't want to get on their
Juwan
bad
Howard
list.
at that point.
Yeah, well, Juwan's already
He's
done.
already
Yeah.
started the movement.
Yeah, he started the movement.
Right.
All right, you want to get off my lawn before we do
Oh,
calls?
man.
Oh,
I gotta
yeah.
Let's
It's
yell
Thursday,
at
Dan.
someone.
Hey, remember, go and call in
Just yell at
1-855-236-3228 right after Get Off My Lawn. Cone, we all know on Wednesdays, you're a 100-year-old trapped, well, every day, you're a 100-year-old trapped in a 34-year-old's body. 6'7", a Gran Torino, Clint Eastwood style. Who are you telling to G off your L today? Because I can't wait to watch.
Vermont high school basketball needs to get off my lawn.
Bernie Sanders, Vermont.
Last week, the Mid-Vermont Christian School girls basketball team gallantly canceled its playoff matchup against Long Trail after discovering one of the players they would be forced to compete against is a male. Rose Johnson, the athlete in question, is supposedly the tallest member of the Long Trail girls team and apparently goes by the nickname Rose Not in This House Johnson, due to the young man's ability to easily block shots, allegedly even recording 7 in one game. Headmaster of MVCS, Vicky Fogg, issued the following statement. We withdrew from the tournament because we believe playing against an opponent with a biological male jeopardizes the fairness of the game and the safety of our players. Now, I have not seen a single practice nor 1 second of game footage from the Mid-Vermont girls team, but I think it's safe to assume that not many of those young ladies will play professional basketball or even compete at the collegiate level, which means some of those seniors sacrificed their final chance to play organized basketball in order to make a statement that should have been unnecessary in the first place. Where are the Vermont adults? Where are the leaders? Hiding? Remaining silent, hoping this issue will blow over? I can assure you it will not. Our children are looking to us for leadership. They are hungry for guidance, desperate for direction, searching for moral teachings. We cannot fail them. Today, the opportunity to compete in a safe and fair environment was seized from a group of girls in a small Vermont town. But tomorrow, that opportunity could be taken from your daughter or your sister. Stand up now and lend your voice to reason. And to those Vermont adults who failed these young ladies, get off my lawn.
Very nice.
Yes, sir, Coney.
Very nice. I heard her nickname was Rose. I promise I don't have a Johnson.
Well, the show's good.
What?
Fun show.
Oh, man. Oh, boy.
No,
was good.
again, you're gonna let 14-year-old girls play against a dude.
There's only one way to fix it.
It's a dude, a tall dude too.
Apparently.
There's only one way to fix this, guys.
How are we doing it?
Hands in.
Hands in.
We doing it? Are we? Do we have to fix it?
Captain Planet.
We go play women's basketball?
Oh, man. That's what, like, actually go play against
in
women?
Vermont.
In
Wherever.
Vermont?
Wherever. There's only one way to fix this. To get 3 mediocre guys who are not good at basketball to go win all the basketball accolades you could win.
Like, look? I just again, and this is something we've obviously talked with Riley Gaines about. How stupid can we be? Like, how stupid can we be? Like, stop letting men play against women and girls, against 14-year-old girls. I mean, we have parents that take their kids to these trans shows and we're letting men play in women's sports. Like, what? How stupid are
Rose, get out of my house.
Can you imagine, like, not only like
I think my nickname's
accepting
better.
that moniker, but celebrating it? And
Like, if I'm,
blocking these girl shots?
it's just, we have no pride. Like, well, our pride's screwed up. We got a different type of pride now. It's like, again, just, I don't know how a competitor as a male, you'd feel about competing against women. Like, how you could lay your head down the pillow at night, even as a 14-year-old. Like, there's what Blaine. Look, sometimes positivity bullying.
No,
right?
bullying's necessary in life.
Like, somebody, like,
It is.
again, I'm sorry. Like,
Or you get what you see now.
Yeah, that's exactly
what you
this is
get.
what happens. This is what happens. Like, it's
That
absolutely.
was a really good get off my lawn.
Thank you.
That was one of my
Appreciate it,
favorites,
man.
David. Let's get to calls.
All right, let's take some calls. First up,
Chuck
Matthias.
from Vermont. Rose from Vermont.
Rose from Vermont. Don't see Rose on here yet, but Matthias from Kansas
Matthias.
City.
Okay.
What do you say about that?
All right, Matthias.
Matthias, what's going on?
Oh, it's good to have a new branch of the trust tree here.
Oh, don't you love
Do
it?
it, sir.
Don't you love it?
yeah.
We're trying to take over the world. One
Got
big
some
good.
acorns right here.
I know you, Jake, had mentioned about how Baylor was doing pretty good in the men's basketball the past this year. K-State beat them twice.
Yeah. Sure. Well, let me ask you
So-
this. I mean, who do you think's the best team in Kansas right now? Is it Kansas or Kansas State?
Well, I mean, in the state of Kansas, there's always a general saying, KU's good at basketball, K-State's good at football. So
Mhm.
until K-State beats KU and Allen Fieldhouse, then that's an honest discussion then.
Yep. I can understand that. I think Jerome Tang has a chance to win Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if they make it to Elite 8, Sweet 16 at least, Final Four obviously would be an overreach, but, I wouldn't say no.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, let me ask you this, and I know you probably know the question on top of this. Have you seen the Big 12 deeper than they are this year? I can't remember the last time I've seen the Big 12 this deep.
Usually it's a good 6, 7 teams, but yeah, it's a good 8, 9 this year. I agree.
Yeah. You got anything else, brother?
I guess I have one other question. I don't know if you guys would know the answer to this.
No, let's
Do
do
you
it.
know there's only 2 teams, or no, I say 2 universities in Division I that have never won a team sport. Do you know which 2 they are?
Have never won
A championship?
A championship?
Yeah,
In
team
any-
sport, men's or women's.
Okay. I'm gonna say Kansas State being one,
Obviously.
and then the second one being that have never won a team sport national championship. Man, are we talking about like
Can I say
Division I? He said.
Mm-hmm.
Virginia Tech?
That'd be correct.
Let's
go, Coney!
It's
Come
not
on.
even Thursday trivia.
Come on.
Come on.
I think I stumbled
Matthias.
upon
Where's that
on-
needle in that haystack?
I think
It's
Matthias
I stumbled
Stumbled
upon that a
get
few
those.
months ago.
I don't think Matthias thought we would get those. Matthias, did we exceed your expectations?
Oh, always. I mean, that's why you guys are the best.
Oh, you're the best,
Matthias, we
Matthias.
appreciate it, man, and stay safe out there in Kansas City.
Welcome to the Trust
Enjoy
Fund,
that
brother.
barbecue. It's my favorite.
Thank you, brother.
That barbecue is fun.
Hey, no problem.
All
All right,
right,
buddy.
Let's go to Sean from Baton Rouge. Sean, what's going on?
Yeah, boy, you can play the Gators.
Morning, boys. How y'all doing?
Good.
Good, man. How you doing?
Great, man.
I'm doing good. As I do most mornings, I woke up, I chose violence.
Yes.
I the fear, got the cougar in the car, the cougar attacks. We're burying him underneath the trust tree, all right?
God, Lee. I love where this call's
Wow.
going.
God,
you can hang up right
Louisiana
now.
boys,
You gotta love
man.
the Louisiana
For
boys,
sure.
man.
Look, any state that allows you to have a drive-through daiquiri place,
Come
you
on.
know the people are cool.
All
as hell.
about it.
Oh, you know it, Big Daddy. Now listen, for Blaine, I have one very important question. Start, bench, cut.
Oh, no.
Candy corn,
Okay.
moon pies,
Oh.
Mama G's.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
this is
No.
Oh,
You're going to
yes.
do
This
this
is the
to
good
me?
one.
You're going to do this
I
to
told
me?
you I chose violence.
You're going to
No,
do
I
this
love
to me? I
this.
respect it. I hate it, but I respect it.
All right.
I'm going to start Mama G's.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Proud of you, kid.
I'm going to bench moon pies.
I'm with you.
If I'm drunk, I'll eat them. All right. And I'm cutting candy corn.
Yeah.
There you go.
Candy
That-
corn, man.
I agree with that. I agree.
Mama
with
G's
that
just because of atmosphere. Phenomenal atmosphere, not because of the food. Moon pies, not terrible, not great. Definitely it's mid, but candy corn,
Yeah.
were invented by the devil.
That's
The devil.
That's exactly right.
It's terrible.
That's why that's how they candy.
all they serve in hell is licorice, candy corn, and that Peeps flavored soda.
Ugh.
That's all they serve in hell. That's it. You can,
What a great start bench cut.
yeah, that's a great call.
Way
Right
to
there,
bring the
friends.
fire,
You
Sean.
cried
That's
in the
what I would
garage?
expect. Nothing else from Baton Rouge.
I love it. Appreciate it, Sean. Thanks, man. All right, let's go to Gavin. Gavin calling in from Pennsylvania. What's going on, Gavin?
Like Gavin.
Yeah, so with all that's coming out from Green Bay, that Aaron's probably out the door or may not be. But I guess the question I have for you guys, just thinking in like historical terms with Green Bay going from Favre to Rodgers and it being literally 30 years of excellence at the QB position for that franchise, is there anything that's really comparable, like historical, like one quarterback to another for any other franchise that you could think of?
You know, really, right off the top of my head, nothing comes to mind. But who did, like Steve Young and Joe
I
Montana?
think Joe Montana, Steve Young is
That-
one.
like, that would be
the
another-
longevity's not the same, but the greatness, I think.
Yeah,
was there.
I that's the only one that really comes. There's some I'm sure that are older, like 50s, 60s, 70s that we're not getting right now. I'm trying to think who came before Terry Bradshaw for the Steelers. For some reason, that's not jumping in my head. But my answer would be Steve Young and Joe Montana, probably.
And I think the other chance for us to see it, like we were talking about with Phillip Rivers, is with the Chargers. If Justin
Phillip
Herbert,
didn't win it though. Like, are we
that
considering-
yes, that is true. He didn't win the Super Bowl, but long-term greatness is so hard to come by.
I agree
Either
with
way.
that. I agree with that. I would say Steve Young and Joe Montana. Would be
And then I don't know. Let's see what happens with Kenny Pickett with the Steelers. I mean,
That's
a
true.
long way to go. But at least the transition period is there, and you got the first half of it. Big Ben won 2 Super Bowls, so
Gavin, you think Aaron should stay or leave in Green Bay?
As a Packers fan, I'm kind of ready to move on.
See, okay, that's what
the second
you remember
Packers
when I
fan I've
said-
heard that from
no,
this
you
week.
remember when I said a couple weeks ago? Like, I feel. Tell me if you're vibing with this, Gavin. Doesn't it feel like the vibes of like the couple or the parents who stayed together until their kids went through high school and then got divorced? Like, I feel like the Packers won the Super Bowl. Aaron's done well, but like I feel like it's been long enough, right? Like you've accomplished what you set out to accomplish. Maybe you didn't win as many championships as you thought, but you did enough to where now you can shake hands and amicably leave without the divorce being nasty. Is it, Gavin, are you feeling that?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel that. I mean, and I'm kind of also coming back at it with the thought of it could be a lot less messy than it was when they kicked, when they kicked Brett out the door, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, you haven't, again, Jordan Love isn't as high profile as Aaron is, so I think that has become a little bit easier, even though Aaron doesn't make anything easy, it seems like, in the offseason. I don't believe in Jordan Love. I don't.
I mean, Gavin, I think the real question is can you do a 4-day underground darkness retreat? Could you get that done?
I couldn't sit in a room by myself for 5 minutes.
I'm 100% with Gavin. Good stuff, Gavin. Appreciate it.
Love it, man.
funny.
Call again soon, please. All right, let's go to Josh calling in from North Carolina. Josh, what part of North Carolina are you calling from?
Hey guys, I'm calling from a small town east of Raleigh, Wilson, North Carolina.
Okay.
All right. I was
Okay.
born in Greenville.
Nice.
Take that to the bank.
Oh, nice. I just went to
ECU.
Greenville to take a huge test for my job. So.
There you go.
I bet
Feel
you
good
crushed
about it? Feel good about the
Yeah.
test? How we feeling?
Yeah,
about it?
how are we feeling about it?
Oh, yeah, I crushed it. I passed.
That a boy.
You put
Of course you did.
you put C for
course
all the
you
answers.
did.
Look, you're a Booster Club member. We don't go into big moments and let people down.
Never stop flexing in the mirror. We all see it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, hey, guys, I graduated last year from UNC Chapel Hill. Huge
Congrats.
basketball fan. Excited for the game this Saturday, but I'm wondering, what are your thoughts on this game and, ultimately UNC's chance to make the tournament this year?
Well, the way you've
beat 'em.
played a little bit here down the stretch, and I think I want to say this first though. Does anybody get screwed by the net more than the ACC? Like let's really think about it. Like if you look at the ACC right now, like they almost act like there's no good teams in the ACC because of the net. Like you remember Miami's like 22 and 21 and 5 and ranked like 15th. It just blows my mind. I know you're talking about the Duke game at home is what I'm guessing you're talking about. Look,
Yeah, I am.
North Carolina being North Carolina obviously helps when we're talking about making the tournament. Not that that's the final factor, but if it's close, they understand how much money and how many eyeballs are on North Carolina. And look what they did last year in the tournament. How cool was that story with North Carolina and Duke last year playing in the Final Four to see who played Kansas in the Natty? I think at home, North Carolina handles business. I am more surprised at, and I know Caleb Love hasn't always been a super efficient shooter, but damn, does it seem like Caleb Love can't make anything lately.
Yeah.
Like RJ gets hot, right? RJ gets hot and starts cooking. Hand in the face doesn't matter. You know what you're going to get out of Baycott. Leaky Black, hell of a defender, good driver, guy that can get to the line, very average three-point shooter. I feel like Caleb Love's the missing piece, right? He's got to get going. Puff Johnson gives you some nice minutes, gives you some length, lefty that can shoot the three. We know how good his brother Cam was. But is Caleb Love the key to this team?
I think it's Caleb Love, but then I also think some of these bench players like Puff aren't getting enough minutes, in my opinion. And also, one of the freshmen, I think his name's P.J. Washington. Whenever he's on the floor, he's been really killing it, but he doesn't get enough playing time. And Nickel as well. So
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but when it comes down to North Carolina, North Carolina gets in the tournament, I'm not putting anything past them.
Yeah.
Because you have that experience getting through some of the BS. And Leaky Black, I think, is a top 2 defender in college basketball from any position. I'm talking about 1 all the way through the 5, center all the way through the point. I think Leaky Black is one of the top 2 defenders in college basketball. You talk about locking guys up. Like, this man is just put him in Azkaban.
Which is why it's crazy there's even a conversation right now if they're going to make the tournament. So for this Saturday, I mean, North Carolina, if you're North Carolina, you always want to beat Duke, right? That's your arch rival. This is the best rivalry in college basketball, a top 10 rivalry in all of sports. You already lost to them this season. You have them at home, and you need to win to get into the tournament. This is a perfect situation for North Carolina. What's going to make it tough, though, is what you guys did to Duke last season, right? You spoil Coach K's party, beat him in the tournament. First, was it Final Four matchup?
Yep.
North Carolina comes out with the victory. So Duke's really looking to pay that back.
Well, I will say, and look, I know Notre Dame's not the best team right now. I know Mike Bray's on his way out, but you have won your last 3. You caught Virginia at a good time. They haven't been playing good, even though they won last night. And then obviously you beat a Florida State team that did just go on the road and beat Miami. And we know their length; they're always tough. But you've won your last 3. You win tonight, I think you're in the tournament. Or you win against Duke, you're in the tournament.
And then that's going to propel you into the ACC tournament championship.
Well, yeah, too. But if I'm North Carolina right now, I want that bye in the NCAA tournament. I don't want to do the playing game. Like that's right now. If I'm a North Carolina fan, that's what I'm looking at. Like, I feel good about making the tournament. The question now is, I don't want to be the 67th team.
So you're saying if they won the ACC tournament, North Carolina, and they got an automatic qualifier, that they would most likely play in a play-in game?
No, the exact opposite. Right now, if you look at North Carolina, I think they're in. Okay, I think they're in right now. But the question is, are you going to have to play in that playing game?
Oh, yeah.
But like that, if you don't want to play in that playing game.
No.
You don't want to add any extra games to an already long-ass tournament. So I think that's where they're at right now. But we'll see. You know, I would feel good about it. I'd feel a lot better than I obviously felt after you lost 2 straight, even though it was against a good Miami team and on the road against an NC State team that can really fill it up with Terquavian Smith and Burns.
Was UCLA, when they went on that deep run year before last, did they play in a playing game? Because I thought it was like UCLA and another blue blood matchup. It was like
the year
they did
because they beat Bama in the same.
They beat Bama and Michigan. They ran through our whole household. That was a blue blood play-in game. I can't remember who UCLA played, but that was only one example I can think of a blue blood program playing in the playing game and making a deep run.
Yeah, for sure.
But appreciate it, Josh. Thanks
Josh.
so much, man. Stay safe on the East Coast. All right, Jack calling in from Minnesota. What's going on, Jack?
Minnesota.
Hey guys, it's Spy Guy 024 reporting in.
What's up, man?
Sir?
So I was listening to your show and I heard the trivia question that you guys did of the most perfect games pitched, which teams did that. Great job on getting that right. I thought that would stump you. At least the second one would. But
that was a tough one. That was the hardest one.
Huge shout out to PJ for getting that set up for me. That was really awesome. I was absolutely stoked on the show. Like when you guys got that. Every time I'm on your show, like through a call in or you guys answer my chat from the Booster Club, I freak out like a little girl going to a Taylor Swift concert.
Well, yeah. Look. Go ahead.
It's always a good time.
Well,
it's
Jack,
always a good time. So
we appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah. I had a quick question. So World Baseball Classic starts next week.
Yeah.
Are you guys watching? And what team what country do you think wins? And also, I have one more question after that, but I want to see what you guys think of World Baseball Classic.
Look, I like the WBC. I think it's good for baseball. You know, you're able to see. You know, obviously we know the major league names and we know everybody doesn't play in it. And you're able to see some guys that, you know, some young guys on some teams outside. It's hard for me not to pick a Central American country.
I got the odds right here if you want.
Well, go ahead.
All right, on DraftKings, here are the odds for the World Baseball Classic 2023. Dominican Republic plus 200. USA plus 275. Japan plus 300. Venezuela plus 1,000. Then you got Puerto Rico 1,100 and Korean Republic plus.
Give me Puerto Rico plus 1,100.
You like that?
Give me Puerto Rico plus 1,100.
Yeah, give me the USA.
You going to USA?
But hit the gas pedal, scream America.
Look, I hope they win it.
I'm riding with a bald eagle and
I just trust guys that instead of gloves are playing with milk cartons and rocks.
You know who I trust? Americans.
Yeah. Well, you better make sure you're trusting the right side.
What's your other question?
I was thinking Puerto Rico should be favored too because they got all those like great infielders like Lindor and stuff like that. And I'm a Minnesota fan, obviously. You guys know that.
Yeah, there we go.
I like Jose Miranda at third base. I think he was a great rookie for the Twins this year. But my other question was, so we all know kind of the popularity of baseball has kind of fallen. Do you think that a big part of that is because there's so many different stats that I think many people don't know, like OPS, OPS plus, FWAR, WAR, and then there's slugging percentage and all this stuff. I think baseball is a harder game to get statistically, whereas in football, it's like the main thing is you need to know are like rushing yards, passing yards, and stuff like that. And in basketball, like points per game, rebounds, stuff like that. So do you think it's mostly because do you think part of the unpopularity of baseball is because it's so complicated to know what stats are important and there's so many of them, or kind of is there obviously other factors that contribute to that?
I like that angle. I mean, obviously, when you look at baseball, what's the first stat people look at? It's home runs, because we all know that, and then probably followed by average. But when you do get down to the nitty gritty, I think there's some validity to your point, because I think one of the reasons that baseball is not as popular as what people think, outside of them not marketing their stars as well as some of the other leagues do, like the NBA. I will give the NBA credit for that. I think baseball is a sport that's unbelievably old school and incredibly analytical. And those two things in society today aren't exactly to the forefront of the younger generation. You don't have a bunch of kids like when I was a kid that used to go get baseball cards and do things like that and look at the back and say, oh, how many stolen bases does this guy have? Or what is OPS? I don't understand what OPS is, a mixture of average and slugging percentage and this, that, and the other, because nobody really comes out and explains it. They try and introduce all these, not new stats, but stats that maybe not as in the forefront as home runs, as RBIs and average and strikeouts and things like that. But once you get down to the core of baseball, it is deeply analytical and it is slower and old school. And I just think in our society nowadays with TikTok and all that stuff, you get instant gratification. Everybody's used to instant gratification. One of the coolest things about baseball is you don't get the gratification until the end. You have to wait for it. But they look at that different than me and you look at it, my friend.
Yeah, baseball suffers more than any other sport from a shortened attention span.
That's exactly
We've gone from an MTV generation to a social media generation to, like you said, now a TikTok generation. And really what is guiding the decline of sports is the length between highlights. Yep. In basketball, you can have an alley-oop on one and a block shot on the other end, splice that together in a highlight reel. Someone can watch it on TikTok, even if they don't watch the full game, and you get to keep NBA brand awareness high, let's say. Or even in the NFL, if you go on a 13, 14 play drive, there's going to be a big catch or a big tackle. You can splice together a nice highlight reel. In baseball, it takes longer to get those highlights, and this generation just doesn't have time for it.
Well, as well, too, like when you look at football or you look at basketball, when you have defensive games, you have blocks in basketball, you have big hits in football. When two pitchers are going out there and shoving for 9 innings, there's not a ton of action.
True.
There's not a ton of violence, so people get bored by it. But no, great call, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jack. We appreciate it, man. All right, Braden, we got another caller from Baton Rouge, boys.
How about that?
Another caller.
Calling Baton Rouge is actually calling us.
Yeah.
How about that?
Braden, what's going on?
Hey, guys. I am specifically here at LSU's campus, and I wanted to ask you a question about college football this fall.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and again, I know it's early, but
it's never early for college football. It's late.
Right around the corner, baby.
Yeah. So, how do you guys think LSU will do overall, and what will be the biggest factor for their college football season this fall?
Well, look, we're not obviously going to give out our predictions yet, but I think there's a very, very high chance that LSU wins the West. Because think about it. What is LSU? This is why I laughed the other day, and we talked about this with the guests that we had on. I laughed. People were like, oh, there's a quarterback battle in LSU. No, there's not. There's not a quarterback battle at LSU. Jaden Daniels is the guy. LSU is one of the few teams that return a quarterback, especially in the SEC West. I mean, you got Will Rogers at Mississippi State. You got Jaden Daniels. You got Robbie Ashford at Auburn. Outside of that, really look around the whole SEC. Who's coming back? So LSU has an inherent advantage. And Alabama, is going to be Ty Simpson? Is it going to be Jalen Monroe? Is it going to be a mixture of both? So Georgia's returning, are going to have to start a new guy now that Stetson's done with his 37th year in college. I think LSU has a chance to not only win the SEC West, but make the college football playoff. Harold Perkins is coming back. Mason Smith coming back off that injury. I'm telling you guys right now, you got Florida State week 1, and even if you lose that game, you can still make the playoff. I know it's in Orlando. I'm big on LSU this year. I'm not ready to go out on a limb and make my full prediction yet, but I'm very high on Brian Kelly because he is the ultimate CEO. He has brought accountability back to LSU, but the most important thing he's brought back is structure. And structure does not only help you survive in the long run, it helps you thrive in the long run. And I think that's why Brian Kelly to LSU was the best hire of the offseason.
Blaine, you think Brian Kelly will win the SEC West 2 years in a row?
I don't know. They go to Bama this year. I know that. That's a tough place to win. But other than that, you got Florida State week 1, which is fine. It's not an in-conference game. But then you got some favorite games at home. You got A&M at home this year. You got Florida at home this year. You have Arkansas at home this year. You go to the road to State. You go to the road to Ole Miss. And you go the road to Missouri.
That's not a bad schedule.
That's not a bad schedule. Slate is nice.
Alabama's going to be tough to beat anywhere you play them.
Yeah, true, but it's going to be a little tougher to go Bryant Denny.
I get it, especially after you beat them.
Yeah.
I get that.
It's going to come down to them.
Then again, you could potentially lose that game and still win the West.
True.
Let's see what Alabama does with a new quarterback under center.
Well, Bama's got, and I'm talking about in conference, they've got Ole Miss at home, at Mississippi State, at A&M, Arkansas at home, Tennessee at home, LSU at home, at Kentucky, and at Auburn. That at Auburn game with a new quarterback starting first time in the Iron Bowl with Hugh Freeze year 1 at the end.
Bermuda Triangle, baby.
Get a little
you never
bit
know what
weird.
happens.
Get a little bit weird, but no, I think
see
LSU right now poised to be a top 5.
I'm so ready for that Florida State game.
Oh, that's going to be
Dude, what a way to start the year,
for
baby.
Sure.
I wasn't that excited about it last season. This season, everyone's ready for it.
I'm so
and I saw that LSU brought in John Janzik to be the special teams coordinator, I believe.
Okay.
Braden, did you see that?
Yes.
That's a good hire.
Good. Love it.
He came from Tennessee, was it?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it was Tennessee. I need to go and look that back up.
Appreciate it, Braden. Hey, go
Thank you,
Tigers.
buddy.
Go Tigers.
All right. One more here. Let's go to Joshua from Oklahoma. Joshua, what's going on?
What's up, Josh?
Hey, guys.
Josh,
it's
what's up,
Bacon
buddy?
Eater again.
Bacon Eater.
I want to talk about Six Nations Rugby. I've been watching it for the last couple of weeks. And the refs on there. They mic the refs up so you can hear everything the ref says in the entire game.
Wow.
And when they do reviews, you can hear and see exactly what they're seeing and hear what they're saying.
There you go. They cracked the code. What have I been saying? I didn't even know that existed.
It's that easy.
Like that. That's what we've been saying. Like, okay, give me expedited review, like we talked about. If they can look at it and tell, I don't need you to go run over to the monitor.
But that person should be mic'd too.
But that's what I'm saying. Yes, I want to hear
Go
everything. So wait a minute, they mic them up during the match?
Yes,
Like,
you can hear him
that
go
is
up to players and
badass.
say, hey, don't do that again. Next time you're going to get yellow card or red card. Keep playing.
Like
And
why?
Everything.
Like we have, whenever the national championship game is, there's a big game. There's like on every channel, we have a Sky Cam, we have like a concession cam, we have a Cam Newton, you have everything. You can see everything. Why not mic up the refs, mic up the people, and do this for every game? I think it would be such great insight. I don't care what Gene Steratore thinks he sees, or Mike Pereira lying to me about how the refs actually did a good job when we know they did a bad job. Like, I want to hear what they're saying. I don't want these other people coming in, but I do want to give credit to Gene Steratore, though. He's the only one I've seen that they use for basketball and for football. That's
tough.
That's
tougher.
I will give. If I had to pick one ref, Gene Steratore's my guy.
I love it. Appreciate it, Joshua.
Josh, thanks, buddy. Hey, that's some great info. We appreciate you.
Hey, if we have time for one more, is Jess still on the line? Jess from Georgia? Okay, Jess. Okay.
All right. Hey, next time, Jess, I'll move you to the front of the line.
We'll move you to the front next time. Calling in from Georgia, Jess.
All right. I'm going to scream at somebody because of that, Jess.
Yeah, someone's already fired.
Someone, Indeed.com.
Already.
I'm the one who said.
No excuses.
Oh, yeah, listen.
No excuses. Play like a
It's like my dad said, PJ, if I want to hear excuses, I'll interview prisoners.
I will fight
All right?
I'll take the blame for that.
Yeah, we're just messing up. But Jess, do call in. We'll get you to the front of the line. All right, I'm going to let you guys know our Booster Club bets are brought to you by our friends over at DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use our code BOOSTER. That's B with 2 O's, an S, a T, a E, and an R. Because new customers can place $5 on any pregame moneyline bet, and you get $150 on bonus bet if your team wins. You like that, didn't you? I just need a cane and a top hat. That's only at DraftKings Sportsbook and only with code BOOSTER. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Did you see it on the thing?
I saw it on the YouTube.
That was a good one.
I didn't see it.
Hello, my honey. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal.
Wow.
Oh, dude, I'm feeling good.
You're a flapper girl, man.
First off, don't ever.
You're a full flapper girl.
Don't ever look at me like
Hey, is that
Flapper girl.
this Indochino shirt, this is the first time I've worn it. It is so comfortable.
You rocking the Indochino? It's
First off.
crazy, dude.
I can't.
You get some gnarly waves.
They're gonna take it. They're gonna take it back after the flapper girl did.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, look, it's so comfortable.
I've never seen a flapper girl in Indochino before. It's pretty crazy.
Man,
to be
nice jean jacket.
Want to go eat a glizzy? You want to go eat a glizzy together?
Yeah. All right, here's what we got. Here's what I got tonight. One last month. Feeling great?
No.
Yeah.
Strategy.
David.
Yeah.
David, I want to hear it. We all.
I want to hear from the faction of the Booster Club that said things
I think
like,
we should bring the
what
Booster
a game
Club
doesn't
into this.
prohibit, it allows.
I think we should bring the Booster Club into
strategy.
this. I think we should
you know?
bring the Booster Club into this, to be honest. Because
look what you've started.
Oh, it's my
look
fault.
what you've started.
No,
It's always
this
about me,
all
you
goes
know?
back to you.
It's all about me.
That's why I had to make
David, you're in a lot of conflicts these days.
That's why I had to make a point.
a lot of
David does have his hand in a lot of
David
problems.
just stirring the pot.
Like, you start pulling the string on
Stirring the
David, and all of a
pot,
sudden
yeah.
you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
You
stirring
find out
the
he's
pot.
in
That's what he
Dayton.
does. does, man. That's what he
One who
does.
shall be named.
All right, here's my bets tonight. Starting off another month. Let's see if we can do it again, baby. Give me Bama minus 9.5 and the TTP over of 78.5. That's plus 125 against Auburn tonight. Probably going to be a murder. I'd rather win money and the team I root for lose than lose money and the team I root for lose. That's called hedging your emotions. My second one, give me Bama money line, Kentucky money line, K-State money line, and Missouri money line. That's at plus 172. I've hit 4 straight 4-leggers in college basketball parlays.
All right, man, you don't got to show off.
Make it 5 straight.
You got to show off.
4-leggers.
Oh, you've already hit
because
the fifth.
nobody's hit 5 straight 4-leggers in a row since Michael Vick. There's my joke. What do you got? What do you got there? What do you got,
This is
David?
going to get taken.
I want some Bama-Auburn action, too. I'm going to take the over at 151. That's minus 115 odds because life is too short to take the under and because apparently Alabama just scores as many points as they want and then also gives up a lot of points. Hey, let's keep it close, Auburn.
It's a shooting range for sure out there.
Wow. Okay, you said that, not me. Then I want a little 3-game parlay here. Kansas State,
Parlays. Okay.
Kansas State, Kentucky, and UConn all win tonight, minus 156. Lock it in. If I go 2-0 tonight, I'll probably implement the same strategy and back-to-back months.
Well, I saw the script for the month, and I was looking, and I'm liking.
Oh, you're liking, huh?
Liking. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the cane.
Roger Goodell sent you your script?
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
He who
I
won't
hope
be
it's not.
named.
I hope it's not the script from last month when you were down to 85 units.
Well, I did. I had to stick to the script, guys. This was a script. I have to fit in the parameters of the script. It's my job. All right, you know what y'all did. All right, let's go to Kane's money line. This is the hockey team.
Here we go.
All right, yeah, minus 142. And give me the Grizz and the Knicks money line minus 134. Playing a little conservative early.
Baby
What it looks
Cone
like in a week.
had a nice month last month.
Ace man.
He's going to stick to hockey. Rangers money line. That's minus 200 right at the cap. Then Avs money line. That's minus 130. 70 below the cap. All right. Booster Club.
Yeah, we got to give
down.
some couple things here. First of all, I want to get, I believe it was, God, I hate when this thing scrolls. All right, I believe it was A.J. Adams. Yes, A.J. Adams, 22, says, y'all probably don't care, but I rolled a perfect 300 last night in my bowl.
300?
Stud.
Probably don't care.
Absolute. Never seen
Look,
it.
let's
Never
get him
seen it
into
done
the
before.
studio.
You're out
I
there
didn't want to
throwing
do
a
it. I want to see
three-piece?
it.
Are you kidding?
I've never done, I've done like 280 before. Never done
280.
300.
So when you roll a 280, because I've never even gotten close to that, how many perfect frames is that? Out of the...
Man, I can't
like
remember
8.
exactly. You have to score obviously in every frame. I think I had 2 turkeys.
It's like 8 and a spare, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's 2 turkeys. Or I had 2 Man, I got to go back and look. I still got the little.
a perfect 300.
That's so
that is
impressive.
nuts.
Now,
really
let me
cool.
ask you. Let me ask you this, AJ. Though, like, how nice was the place where you went to bowl at? Because that has a lot to do with it. Like the places I go bowl, like the ball sucks. And like the lane sucks.
He's in a
you'll
league.
take your own ball?
He's in a league, so obviously he's got his own ball, wrist brace maybe. Do we really know?
Gotta have a
You
wrist
don't have your own ball?
No.
Oh, man, if I'm bowling 280, I'd have like 3.
We ain't got like money like you, Dave.
What do you at
got
two
money
at
like
280? What are you talking about? You don't get paid?
No,
One, two. If you're bowling 280,
I love
I'm going to
how
get a
Blaine's
ball.
like-
I'll take one from
I
the
love how
bowling alley. if I have
Blaine's
to.
like, no, I don't have money yet. He's the only one he has to pay for. Like, there's nobody else. So
Oh,
he
that's not like.
he
Well, I
keeps
mean,
more money than me and you combined.
you're combining.
Exactly.
You're combining incomes, guys. This is not like y'all here sitting here making cash.
You are too.
They're not with who?
Baby Cone isn't really bringing it in with his bets just yet, you know?
Don't bring Ace into this. All right, don't bring Ace into this. All
But
right.
if he wants his own bowling ball, hey, you better bowl 280.
Who am I? I am. All right, let's go to Charles Moore with the $10 donation. Love the show. Love you, Charles. Happy anniversary, and shout out to the true Daywire fantasy football champion, David Cone.
Hey!
Which you're not,
There
but
we
that's
go.
okay.
Thank
Like
you.
that one.
Where's
Laura-
the tumbler, Walsh?
Laura Brown, she says, Blaine is and always will be the fantasy football champion. Thank you, Laura. You get it. The real ones know. Charles, grow up. Let's go to Jose. We'll pay $2 donation.
Appreciate it.
Should college football be moved to the start of January?
Please, no. No. Football's in the fall.
No, leave it. Yeah, leave it right where it is. I mean, you know, we say that. There's still, now it's like getting further and further. Like, I feel like we play the national championship, like in 6 years from now, we'll be playing in April. Like, it just, remember, it's like January, and then it just starts moving further in January. Then it's going to be into February. Then it's going to be into March. They
You know,
said,
I was
look,
thinking, should we do the
look.
combine?
What do you mean?
Should we do our own combine?
We should do like the
combine?
Combine.
I'm up for that.
I was thinking about
Combine.
it.
Yeah. We'll put our heads together.
Let's do it.
All right, a couple things real quick. TJ Half 20 says, this is the first time I've been able to drop into the part of the live show. Appreciate you dropping in. What things should I be hopeful for about the Bears coming up this season? Thank you guys for the show. Always enjoy waking up to it, man.
For sure. You are in a spot where if you handle it right, talking about the Bears with Justin Fields, and you put personnel around him and you're able to add some of that defense, where I think the Bears are getting close. If they handle this moment right, the Bears are going to actually give you a chance to be hopeful when it matters. I know you haven't had that in a long time for the Bears, and I know your head coach's last name sounds like this. What's written on the second page of a Dr. Seuss book. Eberflus, Fliebergoose. I just saw a weasel moose. All right?
But could you imagine?
I think you guys are setting up to actually make somewhat of a run. I'd be, and you know what? Lori Lightfoot lost. She's not even going to the runoff. So you guys will survive to be able to see whatever happens after that, the way Chicago is going. So good luck with that.
All right, poll. Should I have shaved my head?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I get the options out?
You got to be a man of your word.
I am a man of my word. No, see, I
lied about the paintball gun.
Okay.
Lied about
that's still no. I didn't lie about that. First of all, that's still in the air. I'm holding over David's head. And two, I said if we get 50K,
lied about the ping pong, the beer pong shot.
No, I didn't. I came out.
Well, we saw
about me being a puppet master.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I came out and said it on Twitter.
You did come out. You did come out formal apology.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I'm done making bets. Because it's just they grab your words.
Because people call you out on that.
I feel like every time I make a bet, I have to go to a Senate meeting afterwards and explain something for 3 hours.
No, you just got to shave your head, dog.
No, I said before the year ended.
Did he?
Poll.
I don't know.
Give me percentages. We'll pull it up.
Yes. Yeah,
What are our
I say
options?
yes.
Yes,
I say,
no, definitely not.
I know they want them to see you shave your head. Some of the girls probably said no, but I'll say yes, 61%.
Yes, 50%.
Should I shave my head? Yes. 70%.
Boom!
No, 15%.
Come on now.
15% definitely not. 70% is one.
Wow.
It's 1% away from my favorite number.
Nice.
71.
Yeah.
Guess we're shaving your head, Blaine.
All right, we appreciate you guys. 1 year anniversary. Remember, without you, there is no us. Do us a favor. Share this show with one person today. Follow us or subscribe on YouTube. Turn that notification bell button on. And if you're not a member of the Daily Wire, what are you doing? It's a star-studded cast over there, including us and producer Justine. So make sure you check us out. Got a great show for you tomorrow. The call-ins are fantastic. Remember, Jess, call in next time. We'll get you to the front of the line. We appreciate you guys. And here's to and just like year one in the books, Crain & Co.
Yep.
We're going.